Nipitolactone, often referred to as catnip, has been around for centuries. It is theorized that catnip was first discovered and used in Etruria, which is an ancient country located in central Italy. It is also theorized that the ancient Egyptians used catnip, given their love and respect for cats. Early records of its use can be found in ancient Roman texts. Catnip is a plant in the mint family and also goes by the name catmint. Scientists found that it evolved to have a pungent odor in order to repel insects that want to eat it. This odor is caused by nipitolactone and is what makes cats want to rub against it. After scientists conducted genetic research on catnip, they discovered that at one point it stopped making nipitolactone. However, it evolved a second time to produce nipitolactone again. The biological activity of nipitolactone depends on their stereochemistry. There are 8 stereoisomers of nipitolactone, 4 diastereoisomers, and their corresponding enantiomers. The reason why cats have the reaction they do to catnip is because it targets the receptors in the tissue near their nose and activates the same neural pathways as sexual pheromones. Not just house cats get impacted by catnip and its properties. Big cats can enjoy it too.
I will now go through the biosynthase of nepitolactone. Nepitolactone is produced through the terpenoid pathway. The starting compound for this synthesis is geranyl pyrophosphate, or GPP. In the first scheme, GPP is hydrolyzed by geranyl synthase, or GES, to form geraniol, which converted the OPP group on the molecule into an OH group. This intermediate is then oxidized by geranyl 8 hydroxylase, or GAH, to form 8-hydroxygeraniol, which contains 2 hydroxyl groups. In the second scheme, the 8-hydroxygeraniol is oxidized by AOG, or 8-hydroxygeraniol oxidoreductase, causing the alcohols on the molecule to convert into aldehydes. This forms the 8-oxogeraniol intermediate. Then iridoid synthase, ISY, and NADPH reduces the intermediate. In scheme 3, the 8-oxocitronelyl enol reacts by a Diels-Alder reaction with different nepitolactone-related short-chain enzymes, or NEPS, to cyclize into cis-trans, cis-cis, or trans-trans nepitolactols. Those, you can see this cyclization through the arrow pushing here. These nepitolactols are then oxidized with different NEPS enzymes to form the different nepitolactones that we have. As you can see in scheme 4, the overall reaction is the same as well as in scheme 5, but the only difference is that you are resulting in cis-cis or trans-cis nepitolactones instead of cis-trans.
Catnip, while seeming to cause drug-like and sedative effects, is non-addictive and non-harmful to cats.
So what does catnip do to cats? Cats have a smelling ability that is 14 times more sensitive than humans. This is because they have an extra scent organ called the Jacobson's organ, or the vomeronasal gland, that is located inside the nasal cavity in the roof of the mouth. When the cat sniffs or ingests the catnip, the nepitolactone binds to the protein receptors that stimulate the sensory neurons. These neurons then activate the responses within the olfactory bulb, which project to several brain regions, including the amygdala, which is responsible for emotional reactions, and the hypothalamus, which is responsible for regulating various physiological functions from hunger to emotions. The hypothalamus in particular controls the hormones via the pituitary gland and causes the release of endorphins, which acts as natural opioids and thus influences the cat's sexual responses.
In the past, there have been cases of humans smoking catnip to get high. Was it effective? We'll find out soon.
Hi, I'm Natalia, and today we're going to be talking about the past and current uses of catnip. Catnip has had widespread use within the Native American communities of the U.S., such as the Hoh, Delaware, Iroquois, and Cherokee tribes, as a homeopathic to treat gastrointestinal problems in infants. And while it's not certain why this was an effective treatment, it's believed that because the active ingredient of catnip, nepitolactone, has similar properties to valerian, which is a popular herb sedative. Now, the question on everyone's mind, I'm sure, is can humans smoke catnip and get high? And, well, kind of, not really. So during a time when weed wasn't legal, catnip was an alternative, although not a good one. And in fact, there have been some brave Reddit users who have documented their experience, and well, they've collectively agreed it's not worth it. Most of them couldn't even get high and ended up getting a nasty headache and threw up. It was also reported not to burn as easily, and ganja was recommended as a good alternative. Now, currently, catnip is being used by cat owners for enrichment, reinforcement, response substitution, and counter-conditioning purposes with great reported success rates. In the scientific community, many ongoing studies are examining the potential applications of nepetalactone. One such study is for insect repellent. It was found that nepetalactone activates the irritant receptor transient receptor potential anacrin 1, or TRPA1. What is particularly interesting is it seems to only activate the insect pain receptor, leaving human and cats relatively fine. In vitro, both catnip extract and nepetalactone did directly activate fly and mosquito TRPA1, which is a promising direction as it is low cost and better for the environment.